The headline was designed to grab attention, and it succeeded. In the often superficial landscape of celebrity news, a health alert involving a beloved television personality like Mark Consuelos cuts through the noise. It wasn't a scandalous affair or a career move, it was something far more universal and profoundly human. The news that Consuelos had undergone his first colonoscopy and that the results had shocked him and his wife, Kelly Ripa, sent ripples through their fan base and beyond. But beneath the clickbait veneer lies a story of modern love, medical vigilance, and a powerful, potentially life-saving public service announcement that emerged from the most private of places. This is not just a story about a polyp found and removed. It is a story about shifting the paradigm of masculine health, the critical importance of preventative screening, and how one couple's platform is being used to demystify a procedure that, for too long, has been shrouded in fear, embarrassment, and misunderstanding. This 5,000-word exploration will dissect the personal narrative, the medical science, and the cultural impact of this moment, aiming to transform shock into awareness and action. The story broke not in a formal press release, but in the intimate, conversational space of Kelly Ripa's morning talk show, Live with Kelly and Mark. This setting is crucial to understanding the impact. For years, viewers have invited Ripa and later Consuelos into their homes. They've witnessed their chemistry, their playful bickering, and their deep, evident devotion. They are not distant celebrities, but a relatable couple, navigating work, family, and life. It was within this context of trust that the health revelation unfolded. Kelly Ripa, the catalyst of concern. For years, Kelly Ripa had been the chief health advocate in her household. On the show and in her podcast, Let's Talk Off Camera, she has been remarkably candid about her own health journey, from her fitness regimen to her own preventative screenings. She often spoke of her frustration and concern that Mark, like many men of his generation, was avoiding the gold standard of midlife health checks, the colonoscopy. Her advocacy was likely rooted in a combination of love and a pragmatic understanding of the stakes. Colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in both men and women in the United States. It is also the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths. However, it is also one of the most preventable cancers through early detection and the removal of precancerous polyps. Ripa, armed with this knowledge, was essentially fighting a gentle but persistent campaign against a silent potential threat to her husband's life. Mark Consuelos, the reluctant patient. Mark Consuelos, by his own admission, fit the profile of the avoidant male. Handsome, fit, and energetic, he projected an image of vitality. For many men, this external robustness creates a cognitive dissonance when faced with the vulnerability a medical procedure like a colonoscopy implies. The reasons for avoidance are a familiar litany. The "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" fallacy. The absence of symptoms is often mistaken for a guarantee of health. Early-stage colorectal cancer and large polyps can be completely asymptomatic. The fear of the procedure, the idea of sedation and an invasive scope is intimidating. The dreaded prep, the bowel cleansing preparation the day before, is universally described as the worst part of the experience. A day of consuming unpleasant liquids and remaining in close proximity to a bathroom. Embarrassment and modesty, the deeply personal nature of the procedure, triggers feelings of shame. For Consuelos, these factors, combined with a busy schedule, allowed him to continually postpone the inevitable. It was a classic case of benign neglect, a gamble with long-term health that his wife was unwilling to let him take. The turning point and the shocking revelation. The exact catalyst for Mark finally scheduling the procedure wasn't a dramatic health scare, but likely the culmination of Ripa's persistent nudging, coupled with the sobering reality of reaching a certain age. The American Cancer Society now recommends that people at average risk for colorectal cancer start regular screening at age 45. Mark Consuelos was squarely in that demographic. The on-air reveal was dramatic precisely because it was so genuine. Ripa's tone was a mixture of relief, vindication, and lingering concern. She revealed that the doctors had in fact found a polyp. The use of the word "shocked" in the headline was key. It wasn't that the polyp was cancerous, but that it was there at all. For a man who felt perfectly healthy, the discovery was a tangible, jarring piece of evidence that his body was not invincible. It was a there but for the grace of God and this procedure go I moment. The polyp was removed during the colonoscopy, a key advantage of the procedure. Unlike a scan that merely identifies a problem, a colonoscopy allows a gastroenterologist to both diagnose and treat in one fell swoop. That polyp, which could have gone undetected for years, potentially developing into stage 3 or stage 4 colorectal cancer, was now gone. The shock was the shock of a near miss, a bullet dodged. It was the ultimate validation of Kelly's advocacy and a stark lesson in the value of preventative care. The power of the Consuelos Ripa story is its ability to demystify. By talking about it openly, they strip the procedure of its terrifying mythology. Let's break down exactly what a colonoscopy entails, separating the manageable inconveniences from the life-saving benefits. The preparation, the beast before the beauty. It is universally acknowledged that the prep is the most challenging part of the process. For 24 hours before the procedure, patients are on a clear liquid diet, broth, gelatin, clear juices. Then they must drink a prescribed solution designed to completely empty the colon. This leads to frequent, urgent trips to the bathroom until the bowel output runs clear. This is undeniably unpleasant. It's a day of feeling hungry and confined. However, reframing this experience is critical. This is not a pointless ordeal. It is the single most important step for a successful colonoscopy. A clean colon allows the gastroenterologist to have a clear, unobstructed view of the colon lining. Any residual waste can hide polyps, leading to misdiagnoses. Viewing the prep as an active, crucial part of saving your own life can change one's perspective. It's a day of discomfort for a potential lifetime of health. The procedure itself, a nap that saves lives. On the day of the procedure, the fear often peaks. The reality, as described by millions who have undergone it, is far less dramatic. The setting. You are in an outpatient procedure room attended by nurses and an anesthesiologist. The sedation. You're given sedative medication through an IV. This is not general anesthesia. It is often referred to as twilight sedation or conscious sedation. You are not unconscious, but you are in a deeply relaxed state, unaware of your surroundings, and most patients have no memory of the procedure whatsoever. The common refrain is, "I took the best nap of my life." The scope, while you are sedated, the gastroenterologist gently inserts a colonoscopy, a long, thin, flexible tube with a tiny video camera on the tip, into the rectum. The camera transmits images to a monitor, allowing the doctor to examine the entire length of the large intestine, colon. If a polyp is found, the doctor can pass tiny instruments through the colonoscopy to remove it. This is called a polypectomy. The polyp is then sent to a pathology lab to be analyzed under a microscope to determine if it is benign, precancerous, or cancerous. The entire procedure typically takes only 30 to 60 minutes. Afterwards, you spend a short time in a recovery room as the sedation wears off. You will need someone to drive you home, a role that Kelly Ripa undoubtedly played for Mark Consuelos. The aftermath and the results. After the procedure, you may experience some mild gas or bloating as air introduced during the scope is passed. Most people can resume their normal diet and activities the next day. The results come in two parts. The immediate visual findings. The doctor can usually tell you right away if any polyps were found and removed. The pathology report. This takes a few days and reveals the cellular nature of the polyp. In Mark Consuelos' case, the fact that the polyp was removed and the story was shared so quickly suggests that the immediate finding was a precancerous adenoma, the type of polyp that has the potential to turn into cancer. Its removal was a definitive act of cancer prevention. The power of the Consuelos Ripa story is its ability to demystify. By talking about it openly, they strip the procedure of its terrifying mythology. Let's break down exactly what a colonoscopy entails, separating the manageable inconveniences from the life-saving benefits. Let's break down exactly what a colonoscopy entails, separating the manageable inconveniences from the life-saving benefits. The impact of a celebrity like Mark Consuelos sharing his experience cannot be overstated. It creates a water cooler effect for a topic that was previously taboo.
This phenomenon has a precedent, often referred to in public health circles as the Luke Bryan effect. Country music star Luke Bryan lost his father unexpectedly at a young age. Years later, in his 40s, he became an outspoken advocate for colonoscopies after his own screening revealed a small precancerous polyp. He discussed it openly in interviews and on social media, using his platform to urge his fans to get screened. Gastroenterologists reported a notable uptick in appointments, particularly among middle-aged men following his announcements. They dubbed this surge in demand the Luke Bryan effect. Mark Consuelos is now poised to create a similar, if not larger, wave. His persona is that of a charming, virile, and fun-loving man. He is not a preachy doctor or a fearful patient. He is a relatable guy who did something he was dreading and came out the other side with a powerful, positive outcome. This does immense work in dismantling the toxic notion that caring